What's up, guys? It's Brian 258 bringing you another episode of Minecraft. In the last one, we didn't do a whole lot. We started the farm, planted a tree. I need to plant that. Okay, I was about to say, didn't I get cherry wood? Did. Okay, I need to plant that. But I think for today, we got a abundance of food. So I'm gonna real quick. 279 negative 558. Okay. Alright. We are going to throw that in there. We're going to run over to that jungle real quick. I can't quite remember where it's at. I want to say it was over that way. So that's where the village was. And then we cross the river. Yeah. Let's get a boat. Let's be smart and get a boat. I didn't even take no wood. What am I doing? Want to get some bamboo, some melons. Oh, look at that. That's cute. I thought we were gonna eat shit and die. Alright. But, in this episode, guys, I wanted to see if we can get a sheep farm established and go explore a little bit. I wanted to talk about something. Oh, I remember now. I wanted to talk about just things that people, traits in certain people, right? You need to, I don't think we ever got random trees. Acacia. Let's get that real quick. I want to talk about traits of people. I want you to come away from this episode with the idea of, let's get some stone before I break this thing. I want you to come away from this episode and think about what kind of person you are, right? So now, when I get into a hobby, I'm the kind of person that really enjoys, I push into it. I'm a hobby person, so if I have a hobby in like a particular thing, so like, so I don't want to lead into something that I'm gonna bring up later, but let's say if my hobby was camping or whatever, I would do everything centered around camping. Not like centered around, but like I would have everything. Like I have a idea mind. Like I have the mindset of when I'm headstrong into something, I dive head first. Like there's not much thinking. It's like I need this, and I have the money. We would have, as bricklayers, we call fuck you money. Where I want something, I get it. I'm not rich by any means, but from where I am as a person, like and where I'm at in my life, I don't need as much as I make. And a lot of us find ourselves in that area. But I'm one of those kind of people. And then you got people that are like lazy people. That like all they want to do is nothing all day, and like especially today's day and age. No, not to like, I guess, not to call any people out, but I do mean this in the most offensive way possible. People are lazy nowadays, and it's a tragedy. It's bad. It's not good for anybody. This is, and especially now, there's such an easy way of like getting and making money. When I first got into the workforce, my first job was working at a Hardee's, making $7.25. I worked there for 2 years, and I got bumped up to $9. Like that. That's what I left with. I only had one raise while I was there, and that was because I was quite aggressive with the person that owned the store. I was really aggressive towards him. I was like, "Hey man, I learned every position I could. I learned every position except for one while in my time there." And I was very adamant about it. They had managers there that had been there for 3, 4 years, more than I was at that time when I started to learn a lot. And like, I told him, I was like, you know, these managers that you have here, I don't feel threatened when I work around them. I'm not a if I got in a dispute with them, I have no sense of they can't do anything to me kind of thing. I felt really important there because it was like this person's gonna yell at me and I can talk to him any way I want to because they need me here because they don't understand how to do my job. And like so, people, I made that amount of money, and people nowadays can start at a McDonald's making $12 an hour. My cousin just did it in the same area that I live. And the difference between me and him is 5 years. 5, 6, yeah, 6. I can't remember what our age gap is. We don't have a big age gap between us both. So it's easy to make money. But what the? Oh my gosh. Didn't know there was a second one. So it's pretty easy to make money. I think we're gonna go back to the house real quick. It's pretty easy to make money nowadays. It's where I'm going with this. And every place is hiring. It's just gnarly to me that like this day and age, kids they don't want to do anything. They don't want to work. They're not working hard. I hear so many stories about these kids, how they don't want jobs. There's not a push to go do things. And I don't know what it is. And I got friends that do the same thing. They don't want to do anything. And it doesn't make sense to me. Like, my parents, when I hit the age of 16, my dad was pretty honest with me and was like, hey, you need to start doing something. He's like, there's no more asking me for something. If you want something, you work for it. And I was like, okay, I will. And I got a job immediately. What? Found another one? That's amazing. Oh. Bones. And we got melons. Guess we're really only going there for bamboo. And the wood, I guess. There's something back here. I don't know if we're so close to. Yeah, we are. Okay. But kids just don't want to work nowadays, which it baffles me because of that. So there's a big amount of laziness, and like I'm finding that out in like the kid that we're working with, right? Like we'll sit there and be working real hard or whatever, and we'll look over and the kid's trying to sit down or he'll be on his phone or something like that. And I got in through the same means that he got in. Not the same way, but the same reason. So I got in because I knew I wasn't going to go to college, but I wanted to do some kind of construction. And when I was at my sister's wedding, my mom's cousin came to me and was like, hey, we need help on a job site right now. Would you like to come and be a laborer? And I was like, oh, yeah. Like, how much does it make an hour? $18 an hour? Yeah, I'm in. Didn't know what I needed to do. Didn't know what they were going to ask of me. Didn't care. I just wanted it. I was like, yeah, $18 an hour? Yeah, of course I'd quit Hardee's for that. I gave Hardee's my 2 week notice. I was like, hey, I could work the night shift, but I'm going to be quitting here in 2 weeks, so just so you know. And they're like, oh, what are you leaving us for? And it's like, dude, I got offered $18 an hour somewhere else. And they're like, oh, well, we can't compete with that. I was like, yeah, well, no shit. I know you can't compete with that, or else I'd be trying to make that amount here. So I know you can't compete. So bye. That was pretty much it. I was like, I'll finish out my 2 weeks. I'll try to get covered for the mornings and days and stuff, but I'll be here at night. So just to be nice to them. I didn't even sleep like I wanted to. It's okay. I'll make it a little bit brighter. So I went in and did that, and this kid, he heard the same thing. So I was a laborer. Eventually, I became a bricklayer. 2 different unions. Laborers topped out money wise at $24 at the time, and for my bricklaying where I'm at, when I'm making the least amount of money, is close to $34 an hour. So pretty good wage. So I changed it for that. I got out of the laborers and I was like, I ain't doing this anymore. I'd much rather be a bricklayer. So I did that. This kid went to a job fair for his high school, and they're like, hey, you're about to graduate. What do you want to do? And he's like, I just want to make money. And they're like, hey, we got you. That's how he got in. All he's doing is, like, he strictly wants for the money. I was a laborer around bricklayers. I understood what bricklaying was, and I wanted to be one. And, like, I'd even set up little stations behind the bricklayers while they were working, and I had my job where it needed to be because I pretty much played babysitter. I just watched them, made sure that they had everything that they needed. So once you get so good at that and you understand repetition, I pretty much just stood there behind them. But instead of standing there, I was trying to learn what they were doing. In which a couple bricklayers, they were pretty nice to me. They were like, oh yeah, of course, I'll show you how to do things. I will. If your intention is to leave the laborers and become a bricklayer, I will do it. I will help you to whatever extent I can. Which is amazing, because I was like sitting there behind them spreading mortar on a mortar board and stuff, and make sure that they're where they needed to be. And they're like, you make for a good bricklayer, you have the heart, you show up every day, and you have an idea of what's going on. So you're already a step ahead of most of them when they come in. So I did that. And this kid just joined in because he won the money. So the same thing I did for laborers, but this kid, this is his first job. and he chose to dive into a job that's physical manual labor, and he's a little bit taller than me, weighs a little bit more, and I am known for being the short guy on the job site. But I don't ever complain about it. So if we're laying block above our head, other people are complaining around me, but I'm not. I've always made that my kind of thing, is where we can do whatever we want, but I'm not complaining about it. I will make sure that if somebody else is doing it, I'm doing it as well. And so this guy just has no drive, which there's a bunch of guys that are just trying to give up on him, like, hey, I don't want to teach you anything, and I'm there as hey, there was nobody that had any hope for me when I started. They knew, they always made fun of me. They always did this and that. There were some people that just flat out didn't think I was gonna make it, which didn't make sense because I was one of the harder working apprentices. But I was like, dude, I don't want to give up on you, so I'm gonna try and try and try and try. But it's sheer laziness. It gets to me. What is that thing? Oh, it's a parrot. I was like, thought this was Pixelmon for a moment, and there was a Zygarde cell there. But I was like, I really don't want to give up on you, but this guy's super lazy. So you got the lazy guy, and then you got the guy that's just always trying to do better and trying to learn, which I try doing that all the time. Even now that I'm quote unquote supposed to know everything, you never do. There's guys that have been doing this for 10 years and they still don't know what's going on most of the time. Just because every job site's different. Whether it be through sets of rules or be through just new material. So, all these different people, and so I got a friend. I feel mean for calling him out for it, but he knows how I feel. He is an overweight dude. His parents have no want for him to leave the nest. There is no trying to push. He has left his job. Left multiple jobs before because he can't stand there. Which is if you can't stand and work at a McDonald's, because that's where he quit, then what are you really cut out for, you know? That is just bad. He finally got a learner's permit, but does not have a license. Just again, why is that the case? At the age of, he is 24 or 25 right now. Either way, you're a quarter of your life. If you were to make it to 100 years old, you are a quarter of your life, and you have not learned what 16-year-olds are learning. I was probably 13, 14 when my dad put me behind the wheel of we have a campground that we used to camp at and stuff like that, and he'd put me behind the wheel and let me just cruise around there. And showed me how to do things. And he pushed me to learn. But this guy just has no drive. I don't know if he just doesn't got that fire in his eyes or what's going on, but it's and it's hard to feel bad for him because whenever he's complaining about things, I'm like, dude, you're doing it to yourself. And I said, you got all these friends that are doing great for themselves. We got a friend that's getting married this year. We got a friend. We got the group of friends that we hang out with, everybody's moved out of their house except for him. Some with mortgages, some that are renting. And get people that are getting married and stuff like that. I'm in a 3-year relationship that's healthy. And there's a pressure to that one of my friends getting married. It's like, oh my gosh, he's getting married. Why am I not getting married? Am I behind right now? There's something I'm not seeing. Because it's kind of like when you're friends, when you're in that group of people, everybody starts doing stuff, and you're like, it's like somebody who's like, okay, like we gotta pull the trigger and do this. And it's like, okay, am I behind them or am I in front of them? What? Especially because, like, significantly, like money-wise, I make more than all my friends. Like, I make, for the friend that's about to get married, I make his household's money an hour. And, like, technically, I also get more than that. Like, I get paid $34. It's like 33 and some change or whatever, but it's like roughly around 34. It's like 33.80 or something like that, 33.83 I think. But we also have a benefit package in there, so technically I make like $50 some an hour. But that pays for like union dues and stuff like that. But I make what they make in the household. And it's like, I know I'm doing financially better than them. But what can I do to better my situation? There's a fire there. There's like a, why is there hissing? So much hissing. Is there a spider spawner here? Okay, hold on. There is. Why is there so many spawners? Oh my gosh. Do they all die when that happens? That was nuts. They do. No, they don't. Okay, if I can get in that corner and have water in my hand, maybe. Do I got anything in here? I can't remember the last time I made leather armor. That's nuts. Okay. Oh, this is goofy. But I got some kind of fire in me that's like, I always try to compare myself, and I'm like, okay, I need to do better, I need to do better. I always try to have something in my head that's like, I just need to go, 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 go. Which, that's actually like a big trait in a lot of bricklayers. Oh, you bitch. Okay. We're in. Eh. You know about. is nuts. Oh. I seriously want to know why there's so many of these. That's got to be like some kind of record, right? Probably not, but that's a record for me, I'll tell you that. Wow. Well, I don't know how to make a spider XP farm, but I will definitely figure out how now. Okay. How do I do this? But yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to figure stuff out, and they don't give you tutorials for this shit, so it's... I'm trying to... There's so many different people, everybody's different, it's just so difficult, and I hate it. Hate it so much. So I try to do everything my hardest. What the hell? Calculator just popped up. Okay. Yeah. They don't give you tutorials for this stuff. They don't give you nothing. It's just like, hey, this is a group of people and have fun. Bye. And you're like, oh, I just like a lot of these people. And like, yeah, you'll have that. And to just go. And it's like, yeah. So I find that a lot too. I dislike a lot of people. And it's just normal, I guess. But let's build a sheep farm, which is actually amazing that I built to make a bunch of wool. Which I think you sell string to Fletchers. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. I do want to plant a bunch of this. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm going to build it down here. Kind of like I'm going to spread myself out a little bit. So I have to walk to things. So maybe it'll encourage me to build, like, walkways. I should have made me... Oh, I didn't crouch. Like a dum-dum. Be wrapping up here soon. I want to at least finish what I said I was going to do. Amazing. Yeah, there's like I have like a fire in me that's always trying to strive to do better, and I always try to pay attention to how others are doing, so I try to do more. Which, like, I do good for the most part. Like, I have one friend, and she makes roughly around the same money I make. And I guess she's gonna own her own house here. Well, I guess in 30 years, but it's not that good of a house. I just don't think her idea of renting... I don't know. The place that she lives isn't a good place. It's not a good place to live, and my rent, her mortgage is like roughly around the same amount. But I don't struggle for the money she struggles for. And I think I make a little bit more than her, but her girlfriend and my girlfriend, think her girlfriend makes a little bit more than mine. So it's like I think the money makes up, like, we make roughly around the same amount. And they complain a lot about money. I don't know if it's just impulse buying stuff from them or what, but I don't know. I do a lot of impulse buying, so I don't understand that part either. So I don't know where the money goes. But I question myself about that all the time. Like, why they need that fire in them, or they're paying attention to that, and they need to understand, like, where's this stuff going? Why are they being, especially because they hate me. Like, well, they like me, but they hate me. Like, they despise, like, just anything I say, because I am dumb. But, they should try to figure out why their situation's like it is. Because, like, we'll go out to dinner or whatever, or, like, we went to Kings Island a couple weeks ago, and they were like, oh, like, we need to, like, save on money, we need to stop here, if we're gonna get any food, can we stop here so we don't have to waste a whole lot of money and stuff, or we'll go out to eat, and they're like, yeah, we can go out to eat, but we can't go to, like, these places because we don't have enough money for that, and it's like, or they'll sit there and be like, oh, I want to buy this thing, and it's like $20 or whatever, and I'm like, just get it. And they're like, with what money? And I'm like, how do you not have money? I just got a bunch of money and just said screw it, because I checked on Credit Karma, and there was like something, and it's like, hey, you got this much left on your car, and I'm like, okay, I'll pay my car off. Like, I got that. I said screw it and paid it off. I'm like, yeah, I'll save myself $200 a month. Which that don't make sense to me. It's like, there's some people that they recommend getting your car payment high. Like, try getting it paid off as fast as possible, but they'll get the fastest possible way of paying it off. Like, they'll get 3 years to pay it off, or 2 years to get paid off, or something like that. Like, I go 5, so the payment's not a lot. And then I just put money towards it, towards the principal. And you always got to make sure of that. Whenever you're trying to pay for your car, you pay towards the principal and not the actual interest. And you always got to make sure that's worked into the contract too, or else they will try to screw you over. They'll be like, we didn't know you were gonna attempt to pay it off sooner. Like, hey, yeah, I want to pay this thing off as fast as I can, so I don't have to owe the bank any more money, which doesn't make sense. I don't know why the people, I don't know why the car dealerships would try to take that out of the contract, you know? It's like, what incentivizes you? I understand the bank doesn't want me to pay this thing off early because they're not getting interest anymore. It's like, you can change a car from being like $20K, and they're gonna make so if like you're in there for $10K or whatever, and they're gonna make 5% interest or whatever. So let's say it's gonna cost like $25K or some shit. The bank should have the incentive to want to make it where you can't pay it off, because they're gonna get the money, not the dealership. The dealership gets the money for the car. So if the car's $20K, the dealership gets $20K. Come on. The dealership gets the $20K. And then whatever interest is made, the bank gets. So when you leave there, the dealership is getting the money immediately through the bank. Which I've never gotten a credit card either. And like, my girlfriend's got a credit card, and me and her's credit, I think mine's just a little bit better. But I don't understand that. You put yourself into debt so you can buy stuff. But you put yourself in debt on a regular basis to buy stuff. So I put myself into debt once. And now I'm not acquiring debt. I don't know if you lose it. That's a good question to ask somebody. I will do that. Boop. Okay. Boom. Sheep farm. Done. Amazing. And we can shear them all the time. Ooh. I don't know if there's a... I think there's a villager that might trade white wool, but I don't know if that'd be worth it. I think it's like 18 or something like that you need. I don't know. Alright, guys. If you guys enjoyed the new Minecraft series, I can't believe I died twice. Twice. That's crazy. But if you guys enjoyed, please drop a like on the video. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.